Okay. Hey guys, I'm Gabby, the Honest Mechanic, and welcome back to the shop. Today we are fixing my grandpa's old generator that he bought brand new but never used, and now he needs it. So first thing I'd like to do is I like to check the spark, and I'll show you guys how to do that. So first you gotta take off the cap over here, and then you're gonna need a wrench to take out the spark plug.
So I think that's a couple of things that during the video we don't have to run out of stuff.
Yep.
I'm assuming we're going to need a spark plug.
Yep.
Because it's been sitting for so long. So I have that. Some penetrating. Not going to need it for today, but and yeah, my favorite stuff starts on.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Did you get started?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. But I have to show them everything that's going on.
I already started filming.
Why are you wearing You're wearing my microphone?
Yeah, I already started.
I thought you said that. You're filming right now?
Yeah.
Are you trying to replace me? You trying to take my spot?
No, you were just taking a really long time.
All right. Well. Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. I'm Rick, the Honest Mechanic, and this is apparently Gabby, the Honest Mechanic as well, which is trying to take my spot.
Not trying to.
She's my special guest for today. She is my daughter, and I'm trying to teach her a little bit of, hands-on stuff. She likes to work with her hands. She wants to be a mechanic in the future, so I figured, hey, why not? I'm happy and proud that you actually got started. Where did you leave off?
Okay, so I took out the spark plug, and now we're going to check if there's spark. I have absolutely no hope this thing is really burnt out, but just gonna check anyways.
So one thing that by checking the spark, I'll give you a hand by pulling it over here. Guys, if you're going to be doing this, you're going to want to keep your hands away from any of the metal parts because you will get shocked if it actually does have some spark. Hopefully the camera positions it better here.
Trying not to get my hands in the way.
So with the spark plug out, it's going to be easy to rotate. And
I'm still touching the rubber.
Here's the thing. Here's what you can do. Grab it with the rag, like nice and thick, so that you have insulation between your hands, or a glove, but this just happens to be here. And you should be able to grab it right there. And then ground out the spark plug. Look for some spark. Ready to go? Mm-hmm. So we do have spark. Hopefully you guys can see that. But we are also going to change the spark plug anyhow. So we brought one, as I said earlier, because apparently it was already filming when I walked in. And this is not what I would normally run, actually. This is LG. I didn't know LG made spark plugs. Did you tell them that this has been sitting for a long time? He got it and he just put it in storage, and yeah, so I'm assuming the carburetor is bad based off the gas that we have nowadays. So we know we got sparks. We're not going to worry about that right now, but what I do want to do is I want to take the filter out for the air, because guys, if you take a look at this thing, it is literally brand new. Other than the fact it's got a little bit of dust on it from sitting on the shelf, it is in awesome shape. I don't think it's ever been run. So we're going to remove the cap here. And Gab, do you want to get me a bowl from underneath? And we're going to just take a fuel sample underneath the table. I should have some kind of a little container. I kind of set up my shop like a cooking channel too. Sure. So right underneath here, we're just, we'll wipe it clean so we have a nice clean fuel sample. And then we're just going to crack the bottom bowl, let it drain into the clean container, and see what we get. Okay, go ahead and put the bowl first. Something like that. I'm just going to loosen that off until it starts to, oh yeah. So look at the color of the fuel, guys. I'll zoom in on this, but it is yellow, which is not a good sign. And it stinks. Oh. So yeah, it's definitely rancid fuel. I'm going to just kind of crack it some more here. Oh, we're going to have to open the door. This is going to really, really reek here. So the fuel is on, as far as I can tell. And actually, that's all we're getting out of it. So let's turn this off And then, whew, yeah, it's still dripping. Okay, so this is what we got as a fuel sample, guys. It's horrible, and it smells terrible as well. So that's not what fuel is supposed to look like. That is, oh, still dripping, still dripping. Mess, another mess. Very good at making messes. Oh my God. Yeah. All right, so here, I'll wipe this clean for you. I'll let you remove the carburetor. Now, sometimes on these machines, so you're gonna remove the 2 nuts there while I talk. So sometimes on these units, it's a little hard to remove the carburetor because the frame is in the way, but I'll show you a little trick for that. Just like that, and then you're also gonna pull, well, this is our manual, which we're gonna keep because it's got some good information. Yeah, then you're gonna pull, you can either pull it from the valve cover, that's your PCV. You want me to pull it? Pull it from the valve cover because it's easier. This way? Yeah. So that's your PCV. And then you've got your little gasket. You want to keep that together if you can.
Isn't this on the other side?
No.
It was on his?
It was on that side, yeah. You want to seal everything between each component.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
Then, hopefully, I've actually got the fuel valve the correct way. Oh, that line is stiff. It's like really rigid. So I think I'm just going to replace it as well. A little bit of a spill, but luckily, yeah, it's, look at that, it's like plastic. So,
this one's like rubber.
Yeah, so I'm going to replace this line with some other line. Then we're just going to hopefully be able to pull the carburetor out. If not, we're going to remove the studs from the head.
Do you have to disconnect that?
Yeah, we do. And the way we do that is simply by disconnecting the spring, moving that aside. And in previous videos, I've made some mistakes where I was disconnecting and disassembling the whole engine, but this is your governor lever. Yep. And when I was reassembling it, it fell out. Oh. And then inside the governor gear was not in place. I forget which video I did for that. But anyways, I've made mistakes before, guys. And then now we're gonna simply just pull the carburetor back. And hopefully it'll pass. Oh, we're lucky. We're super lucky on this one.
What do you mean?
Well, because on Hondas, a lot of times there's not enough space between the frame and the studs. So in that case, what you have to do is double nut the studs. So that would mean putting one nut on like this, one nut on this way, tighten them nice and tight together, and then you would use the inside nut and it would actually take the whole stud out of the head. Oh. That's a trick, yeah. And that's a trick for you guys at home as well, if you ever have to run into that. So what it does is it binds the 2 nuts against the threads, and then it'll loosen off that end. Also, we don't need this for the cleaning, but it's nice and stuck, so we're not going to worry about it. Now, we're going to take this apart and see what it looks like inside. They're not complicated carburetors, but if they're plugged up, they'll never work. Alright, so you can go ahead and remove the bottom bolt holding the bowl on. Oh, and guys, I should also mention, this generator is a, what's going? You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
It's a Mastercraft. I can't remember which year it is. If I might be able to find it in here. But it's a 1050 watts is what it's rated at. 1300 watts peak, I think. 100cc engine. It's nothing super special, but when you're going camping or you're doing some hunting or whatever, and you need extra power, it's probably a good size. So that is really dirty. That should not look like that. So that's, ooh, nastiness. That's just nastiness. So that is what, that's because it's pretty bad. So, yeah, there you go, showing it to the camera. That's, see, you'll maybe you will replace me one day. So this is the ethanol that is in our fuels today, and it leaves behind a whole bunch of bad stuff in the carburetors. And the reason for that is because ethanol absorbs water, and it tends to cause water absorption into the carburetors, and that causes all sorts of different issues like rust and yeah, just nastiness, as I said. All right, so the next thing will be to remove the jet, because without that, if it's plugged, that is going to cause a whole bunch of different issues, because obviously it needs to get fuel in through the venturi of the carburetor and in through the intake runner. So you can go ahead and remove it, and I'll show you how to clean it. While you're doing that, I'll get my cleaning tool ready. So this part here is quite important. This is your float and your needle and seat. So this is the needle, and then in where it fits is the seat. This is what stops the flow of fuel when it's full, and then opens and allows fuel when it's starting to empty. Essentially, it's the really same principle as a toilet bowl. Like if you were to flush your toilet, you got that flapper valve and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Very, very similar system. So now that you have removed, okay, you got that all out of the way. Let's take the jet out. You just unscrew it from the side. This is the jet right there. Yep, that one. And what I like to do to clean these out is I just take a fairly large cable. I think this is like a 10 gauge cable. And I'll take one strand out of it. Just simply one strand. And I will run it through. Oh boy. Yeah, that's why this is not running. It's, I don't know if you can see it. I'll bring it nice and close and I'll try not to move. But it's plugged completely. You're nudging me, making me, you're screwing up my shots. So now I'm going to take the piece of wire and try to poke it through.
Very vintage.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a little difficult because of whatever garbage is inside that. And the reason I don't use anything like a small drill bit or like a tip cleaner for torches is because if you do that, you stand a chance of, yeah, there you go. You just kind of move it around, spin it. If you use a tip cleaner or a drill bit, you stand a chance of opening up the size of the jet, and that can cause it to run way too rich, especially on these small engines. Not so bad, let's say if you're working with something like Susie, which is a 350 or a motorhome. Yeah, she probably wouldn't notice much of that if you opened it up a little bit. But something like this, it would definitely notice it. So back and forth, clean out this jet. And if you crinkle the cable a little bit, just kind of forces it through. And I also like to use compressed air because there's still some junk in the bottom of this. Of course, if you had access to an ultrasonic cleaner, you can soak the whole carburetor. I don't have access to that here, but it's not a super complex carburetor that has many passages. So hopefully, maybe we'll get lucky. You can use carb cleaner as well, guys, but if you do...
Is that why you use Mom's jewelry machine?
That's exactly why I use Mom's jewelry machine, which is turned out to be mine now because Mom doesn't want to put her jewelry in it. I wonder why. We might actually be able to soak it because I think it's not very large. I forgot about that. Thank you. I should just keep it in here. And then I'll just get her another one. Yeah. You can use carb cleaner. It's really hard to make a video with somebody else because you get interrupted. This video is going to be like way longer than it needs to be, but that's okay. Carb cleaner is great for passageways and getting rid of some, really heavy gunk in the carburetors if there's lots. However, it's not good on plastic parts. It will eat away plastic parts. So be aware of that. So try not to spray either the float or any gaskets like the bowl gasket or the insulator. That's called an insulator block. And this part just literally insulates it from the head of the unit so that the gasoline doesn't boil. Because if it transfers heat into the carburetor, that's not good, right? So, all right. So, you know what? Let's clean this up. We'll bolt it back on and see if we get lucky. Okay, so one thing, now that it's all clean, I forgot to mention it to you. I did the final adjustments and stuff, but this particular screw right here is your mixer screw, or fuel screw. And this is the one that you have to count your turns in. So you go all the way until it's seated, then you count how many turns that was, and when you pull it out, you want to put it back where it was. This one here on top, That's another jet that can be cleaned,
Yeah.
which again, I forgot to do it. So there's only really 3 jets on this carburetor, but now it's all nice and clean. We'll put it back in, then we'll start it.
All right.
All right, so we were about ready to just put the spark plug back in and fire it up until we kind of made a discovery here. So one of these things is not like the other, if you can tell. If I put them aside, the thread length is super long on the replacement plug. So there's the plug that came out of it, which again is an LG, anyways, it's a E5RTC. Never heard of them. Hopefully it's going to work because I don't have another one of these. But according to the book, which Gabby has right here, I want to show it to them too. It says, we recommend using an FR, which is this plug right here, such as an NGK BPR5ES. That's what we have here. And actually, that's what we have right there. This is not an NGK BPR5ES. What will happen is if I was to put this in here and try to start it, I will destroy the engine. It'll contact the top of the piston, it'll damage the plug, damage the piston, and that's game over for a mistake in the book. So Mastercraft, you guys got to fix that. I'm not happy about that at all. So anyways, that's my rant for now. Let's put the original one back in. Hope that it actually has some spark and still some life in it, because I got to do some research now.
Well, it did have spark.
It did, but I'm just hoping that it's enough.
Yeah.
Okay, moment of truth, guys. We've checked for leaks, not leaking. However, if you do clean your carburetor and you do happen to get a little leak, don't panic. What I like to do as an approved repair is you take the handle of your screwdriver and just lightly tap on the side of the carburetor, and that'll sometimes help the needle seat. There is a choke on this thing here, and with a very, very small label. The choke is this way. We have an on switch. We've checked for oil, but we're going to check again because it would be very sad to run an engine. Oh, look at that. There's lots of oil in here. So we're going to use this again, since we're going to have to dispose of this. Just let the excess out. It's a little on the thin side. So we'll probably end up doing a bit of an oil change, because I have a suspicion that the carburetor may have leaked some gas in here. That's a lot of a mess. Okay. Did you want to do the honors? You want to give it a shot, see if it goes?
Sure.
Come on, girl. Okay, let me just take the choke off here. Try it again. Oh, take that back. Okay, it might have been a bit cold. I have spectators in the back, by the way. My parents are here watching Gabby learn. So I'm going to put the choke back on. Maybe I have to run it for a little bit. Part choke. We're going to warm up. So we're going to run it for a while. So what we'll do is we're going to drain the bowl one more time to make sure that if there was any water, it'll be out of the carburetor. Then we'll go put it outside, run it for a while, and hope that it runs nice and smooth. But it's running, guys, so I hope you guys are happy to see that as much as I am. But I really have suspicions that that spark plug, yeah, they're not very great. So those spark plugs, in my opinion, and in the past, I've seen them on snowblowers and such things, they cause all sorts of weird problems. So I'm going to do my research, and I'm going to put in a good known spark plug, and then we'll go from there. But anyways, I'm going to end the video here, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Give my assistant here a lovely hand of applause, a round of applause, I should say. And I hope that you guys enjoyed the video as much as I enjoyed making it. Until next time, I will see you all in the next video. Thank you for watching.